Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from. You're welcome to this week's Technical Outlook with Great White FX for the 19th to 23rd of February 2024. So as always, we're going to start off with the economic calendar. And as we can see, Monday, New York session, there's just no economic news on Monday. And the New York session is going to be very, very dull because we have bank holiday. Tuesday is going to be active as we're coming into AUD monetary policy meeting minutes. And then we have card CPI the afternoon. Then Wednesday we have FOMC meeting minutes. Then Thursday is going to be very interesting. We have lots of Euro news and GBP news, card news, and USD. So it's going to be very interesting week ahead. So as always, we're going to start as always with the US 100, which is NASDAQ's variation of DXY. So looking at the weekly, we can basically see we have what looks like a dark cloud cover in an uptrend. Looks like a dark cloud cover in an uptrend. If we move down to the daily time frame, is what we have on the daily time frame. But if we go down to the daily, that's where I'll need to do a little bit of explanation. If we look at the daily, price broke out of this range, dropped back into it, but didn't make a new high. Maybe notice, didn't make a new high. So, and we have what looks like equal lows here. So looking at this, going into this new week, I would say price may do something like this. I'll move down to this area. Although it's still technically bullish, but this equal lows might be a drop on liquidity for price before it continues moving to the upside. So the next one we're going to look at is the dollar index. The dollar index technically on the longer time frame still looks slightly bullish, but it came into this weekly fair value gap and pulled back after that. If we go into the daily time frame, we can see that we have a change of character at 104.61. And price is sitting within this bullish order block on the daily time frame. Then if we drop down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see what we have here. Price is sitting above this, but I'm of the opinion that we might see something like this, depending on what price does first. Price may sweep this and move higher, or it may rally, sweep this high, and then drop. So these are the two possible outlooks for the dollar index going into this new week. But technically, it's still looking bearish above these two lows. That is 102.90 and 102.77. But we might see a little bit of a steep retracement before a continuation to the upside. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is the Euro USD. So looking at this pair on the weekly, we have a long lower wick to the downside. Hello, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So looking at the Euro USD, this long lower wick out of this weekly bullish order block is reason for concern. It's reason for concern. If we go down to the daily, we can see that this pair is bearish after this break of 107.22. So the deal now is that we might see a little bit of a steep retracement into this structure point here before a continuation back to the downside. So if we go to the 4-hour time frame, this is what we already have on the 4-hour time frame. So depending on what price decides to do, we have this unmitigated imbalance here on the 4-hour. we have this here. So if the dollar index decides to rally, this may drop a bit. Because if we look at this on the daily, I think there is structure point here, 4 hour. There's a little bit of a structure point here. This last down candle before this up, if you notice, price dropped into it and bounced, creating this bullish engulfing. So you might see a bit of a steep retracement and a move. If you look, we have this big unmitigated imbalance here on the 4 hour. So price may be going for it. So what will tell you that's already in play? If you have something like this, then you see price run up there. The next we're going to look at is GBPUSD. GBPUSD technically is still bearish. Technically it's still bearish, but in a kind of a consolidation. In a kind of consolidation, if you look at it from the weekly, you could say they are ranging between this high, that's this high at 127.94, and this low. If you notice, that's where price has just basically nobody closed outside that range. So with this series of long lower weeks here, we need to wait and see what happens. So if we drop down to the daily time frame, well, not much being said on the daily time frame from my view. But if we drop to the 4 hour, we can see a price is clearly, this bearish order block has been taken out by price with this sharp spike here. So going into this new week, you'll be waiting for something like this, then higher on the GBPUSD. Then the next pair is going to be looking at is gold. Gold. When we look at gold from the weekly, I have this very long weekly, this long week on the daily, on the weekly I mean, which is a sign of slight bullishness, heavy buying power coming in. If we look at it on the daily, you can see that we have a change of character here. So what this might be, might just be a retracement. Might just be a retracement to move lower. So if we do this, take this high, that means our price will be looking to go for 2025 or 2042. So looking at this, we can already see a series of 2 bullish candles on the daily time frame. So for this pair, any down move might be an opportunity for a long on this pair. Any down move is going to be an opportunity for a long on this pair. So next pair we're going to be looking at is EURGBP. EURGBP is bearish. It's bearish, but the refusal to close below 84.93 or even to challenge it points to the fact that we might be seeing a little bit of a correction going into the new week. So first things first, once you get a close above 85.70, that's this level here, you wait for something like this and the continuation to the upside on this pair. If we look at it from the 4 hour time frame, you can already see we have this here. So you wait for a bit of a retracement and then a continuation to the upside for the EURGBP. Still long-term bearish, but short-term we are looking at a bullish one. So the next one we're going to be looking at is pound yen. Pound yen is typically bullish. There's no gainsaying it. When we look to the left, we have this weekly volume imbalance here. You can see the consequent encroachment is where price is now, I believe. Yes, price is at the consequent encroachment. So if we go to the daily on this pair, you'll be waiting for something like this, maybe a little move down, and then a continuation to the upside. Let's look at it from the 4 hour. If we look at it from the 4 hour, we have this unmitigated fair value gap here. So you might see something like this. If this holds, price is going to move higher. Last but not the least, euro yen. Euro yen is still bullish. It's bullish, but not as hard as pound yen. You can see Pound yen is taking out his highs, but euro yen just managed slightly to close above this level here, 161.87. So this technically now is bullish. You'll be waiting for any retracement for a long opportunity. Any questions? Any questions? So in the
Hello,
absence
yes.
of any question?
Yes. An observation.
Okay.
Over the weekend, I think by Thursday, Friday, the news of Britain entering into technical recession came on. And, I observed that GBP started losing value, especially against currencies like USD and CAD and CAD. Therefore, whereas EURUSD was buying, GBPUSD was selling. What do you think? Do you think that that trend could continue this week?
To find out, like I always say, to find out euro strength or pound strength, look at EURGBP. What is EURGBP telling you? That will determine what you're going to do. Like I said, this pair is bearish, but it seems to be waking up now. So on this pair, you might see a bit of a retracement and a continuation. But once you get a close below here, whatever is happening in Britain is not showing on the chart. Because you only trade what you see, not what you think. Now, has EURGBP made any new high? No.
No.
So technically, pound is still strong. It's one thing for the news to say something, it's another thing for the markets to believe it. If you don't see it on the markets, that means it's just news.
Oh.
You're welcome, sir. Any other question?
Thank you.
The absence of any other question. I wish you all a beautiful night's sleep. A blessed and wonderful week.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Please, the gold. I came to the tail end of gold.
You can watch the review now, ma.
You okay.
Watch the review, but let me just briefly go through
okay.
it. Gold. Gold is showing a bullish move now, although it's still bearish. Again, if you ask me, you have another block here. You get. So I would say if it doesn't break two things, this is a bearish order block. It's a bullish order block. Depends on what it does first. If it drops in here and finds support, it's going to do this. If he rallies first, he gets rejected, he's going to come in here. And if this place holds, he's going to do this before he starts coming down.
That's on the 4 hour.
Yes, on the 4 hour.
Okay.
If you look at it from all the time frames, you see, this is a bullish move on the daily. It's a bullish move on it's a correction, but it's strong. A strong corrective move on the daily. If you look at it on the weekly, long lower week, which is not good news. Long lower week on the weekly is not good news for any bears, for the bears now. So you might see a bit of a retracement and a continuation to the upside. So that's it for any questions? So if you look at it on the lower time frame, it becomes very, very clear. So this is your strong high. No, this is your high. This is your strong low. So you'll be watching these two zones for a drop and a
1 hour.
Yes, on the 1 hour. You use 1 hour levels to trade lower time frames. So in the apps, any other questions before we call it a night? Okay, in the absence of any other questions, I wish everybody a blessed night's sleep and a beautiful and divinely favored week ahead. Good night, everybody. Thank you all for taking your time to attend.
Yeah, thank you.
Good night.